Morning, good people. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, November 23rd. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Are we just are is Thanksgiving tomorrow? Is Thanksgiving tomorrow? Oh my. Listen, when Thanksgiving is here and then it's Christmas. People start celebrating Christmas at just before Halloween now. So I'm excited today. If you're a real estate investor, you want to be here. If you know a real estate investor, if you want to be a real estate investor, you want to be here. We're going to jump right in today and start talking about subject to deals. What is a subject to deal? And if any of you have in the audience have done a subject to deal, please raise your hand, come to the stage, and tell us about your subject to deal. All right. And all right, Miss Karan, come on up. All right, come on up. She says she raised her hand. There she is. Karan, how are you doing?
It's a great day, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Don Daniel. How are you this morning?
Listen. Listen to you bringing all that energy. Come on,
Yes,
girl. Dr. Karan.
yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Love, love, love the pill method. Just so excited about you and what you've created here.
So tell me about have you ever done a subject to deal?
So actually, I am a real estate broker, and so I know what a subject to deal is.
Oh,
But
would you?
while I had not,
I would love it. I would love it if you would
okay,
break it down for us today, and let's chat about what subject to means and what that's all about. Could you please?
all right,
I,
of course, of
I'm gonna
course.
sit. I'm gonna sit back. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you're gonna be talking, as an expert, you can't do that without the moderator badge. There you go. Come on, talk to
Oh,
us.
there you go. Well, let's say that you have a home, you have it on the market for sale, you have a mortgage on it. Let's say the mortgage on it, you have it at about $300,000. I come and I want to purchase your home, and I'm going to purchase it subject to that mortgage. Um, so I may have to, I may give some cash, but I'm going to take it subject to the mortgage that you already have. So I'm going to start making the payments, but we're not going to, I'm not going to get a new mortgage. I'm just going to be paying your mortgage that you had on the property.
Wait a minute.
And
Wait a
then
minute.
once,
Wait a minute. Is that
mm,
is that legal? I mean, you can you can take over. What do you mean you're going to get the property and pay the mortgage? Help us to understand that part. What do you mean by you're going to get the property?
100%. So um, the legal paperwork that we fill in, we're going to do a contract because we must know the terms and conditions that we are going to agree to for me to, start making the payments. So let's say that your mortgage payment is 2,500. However, for the 300,000 you're selling me the property for, the payments that I'm actually going to be making is going to go towards your mortgage payment.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it is 100% legal because everything is disclosure.
Okay.
As long as it's fully disclosed and everything is above board, it's 100% legal. I can make the payments and not have to go and take out a new mortgage. I'm basically assuming your mortgage. I'm purchasing your property, but it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be subject to the mortgage you already have on it.
Wait. You're purchasing the property, but not really giving over any money. What do you mean? What makes the? You mean you're actually taking possession of the property?
I'm taking possession of the property,
You,
100%.
you're getting the deed,
I am getting.
and all you're doing is taking
We
over the
may do a
payment.
trust deed, but yes, and all I'm doing is taking over your payments. Depends on what deed we're doing, but
Right.
yes, eventually I do get the deed.
Wow. So you take possession of the property. It's your property, but the loan is still in the former homeowner's
Former.
name.
There you go.
And so in this case, isn't it usually that they are in some distress? There's something going on that makes it impossible, well, next to impossible for them to sell the home traditionally, and you come in to save the day. You know, maybe in terms of like a foreclosure, you're going to stop the foreclosure.
Could very well be. Could
Mm-hmm.
very well be.
Okay.
However, a lot of people use it for a lot of different reasons. So let's say the interest rate, someone wanted to, especially if they don't know about the pill method,
Right.
they think that the lower interest rate is better. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe because interest rates are rising, someone wants a lower interest rate. Your mortgage has a lower interest rate. So let me assume those payments, Don.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. So you take over the payments, and then the person that's in the house, they've got to move out because it's no longer theirs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Then what do you do with the house? What do you do with it?
Well, me being a real estate investor, I'm gonna probably rent that house out,
Oh, okay.
or do something else with it, depending on just what it is. But
Okay.
if I'm gonna live in it or if I'm gonna rent it, the fact remains is I bought the home without going to get a new mortgage. I just took over yours.
Wow. So you can rent that property out for more than the mortgage payment you're paying.
100%.
And so you keep the difference?
Of course.
So wait a minute. Are you
Yeah.
that's that's like printing money. So listen, I didn't actually go and buy the house. I mean, initially, I'm coming in, I'm going to assume somebody else's mortgage. They're
Mhm.
going to sign over the deed to me. So I
Mhm.
actually own the property. All right.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to put a renter in that's going to pay let's say the payment is $2,100 and I
Mhm.
can rent it for 3,000.
Mhm.
So you mean I'm printing $900 a month
You sure did.
on somebody else's house, and all I'm doing is taking over, and I promise to pay the mortgage, but then I get a renter to come in to pay the mortgage plus an additional $900.
100%.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen, does anybody else in the audience know anything about this sub two business? Okay, because I want to talk about this some more. All right, because Karan just got a phone call. Raise your hand if you know anything about this sub two business and you want to talk about it, because I'm going to show you how you can make more money on a sub two deal. All right, this morning it is going to be crazy. All right, so we're going to go over that one more time so you guys can understand what we're talking about as far as the sub two deal. Subject to, I need you to look it up and you can learn more about it. But subject to the existing mortgage. All right. And listen, so folks, be careful when you're doing any type of real estate deal. What you're learning here is just the basics. We are not giving you from soup to nuts, from A to Z here. What we are doing is making sure that you kind of understand the basic concepts. And then you want to get with someone who knows how to do a subject to deal, or you want to take a course on subject to deals on real estate. But this is not a course. This is not a master class. This is giving you some basic information. And I want to show you how you can make even more money on the back end on this subject to deal. All right. So, Karan, how would you like to, because right now people are being laid off. I see it on the news. Mm-hmm. People are being laid off. And some of these people just bought houses. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if they just bought houses when the market was overheated, chances are they paid over asking.
Definitely.
Which means they walk in with
negative equity.
Negative equity. They're walking in with negative equity. They're underwater. In fact, they owe more than the house is worth.
That's worth. Yep.
And
always
now,
caution buyers with doing that.
Okay.
But yes, the market was very hot. Now it's a little cool.
Yeah, but people were looking for a place to live, especially if you're relocating to another area to get this great job. Okay. And now, because the economy is cooling off and you may have gotten laid off, and now that mortgage payment becomes a burden. And are you going to be able to sell that property now at what you paid for it? What are the chances?
No.
Ooh.
No.
So what is actually going?
Sit tight.
What is actually going to be required if I need to sell this house? Okay. Mm-hmm. What is actually going to be required for me to sell my house if I'm underwater? Talk to us.
Well, if you are underwater, you're probably going to want to, and the payments have become unaffordable.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to want to see if we can do a short sale. You're not going to make any money from the deal because that's one of the bank's requirements.
Mm-hmm.
In order for us to be able to negotiate a short sale, we've got to get the bank on board. They've got to agree to accept less than the mortgage amount that they gave to you.
Wow.
So there's going to be no profits for you to, and even if there is a profit, sometimes the banks make you even sign that, that you're not going to get it, because if we're going to negotiate a short sale.
Right.
The other thing that you could do is, of course, I don't know how many people want to do this, but cash for keys is something else the banks allows you to do.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that I might have to bring money to the table to sell my own house?
Well, if we negotiate the short sale correctly, you do not.
Well, I'm saying, what if we can't get the short sale?
If we can't get the short sale,
yeah,
then and you have to actually give cash for keys. Mm-hmm. The bank actually gives you a couple of dollars, and in turn you turn over the keys. Money for you to be able to move.
Okay. Cash for keys. Okay, that's one option. Okay, now we're talking.
Can I make one more
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
another alternative
Yes.
is a modification. So if you
Hmm.
are in a situation where you've gotten and now the mortgage becomes unaffordable, one of the very first things is probably to try to do a modification on the home.
Okay.
Modify the terms of that loan.
All right. So now let's say we're in a position where we have a time crunch. Okay. We have to do something very quickly because modifications take time.
Mm-hmm.
Going through a getting the bank's okay for a short sale is now if things are fairly good right now, are and banks aren't under a lot of pressure, with a lot of foreclosures,
Mm-hmm.
looming, how likely are they to do this thing where we're doing a short sale? How likely are they to okay a short sale when you may just be one and no, they don't have a whole bunch of customers looking for this situation? How likely is it
Mm-hmm.
that that's going to happen?
Well, I think I've heard you say it so many different times. You know, banks are not in the business of homes; they're in the business of money. So the numbers just got to make sense.
Okay. Okay. So if they're not looking at a whole bunch of people with problems, they're not necessarily going to say, you know what? Yeah, you're going to have to come up with that money.
Mm,
Okay. And so, what about are there cases where a person to sell their house, all right, is worth there's worth 350, all right,
mm-hmm,
but they owe 400.
mm-hmm,
Does that mean if they wanted to sell it,
mm-hmm.
does that mean they would have to come up with 50 grand on their own to sell their own house?
Well, it just depends on the terms of that short sale
I'm not talking about
approval.
short sale now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Because
yes,
because
if they
because
are doing a
because
straight
see,
sale.
I think now if banks aren't under pressure, they're not going to okay a short sale. You
They're
know,
supposed to look at each homeowner's numbers. That's what
right?
they're supposed to do.
Yes,
Is that what actually happens in
yeah. But
reality?
if I'm a
Yes.
bank, all right, and I'm not doing you a favor. What I want to do is make some money.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
and I'm probably not going to okay a short sale if you're one of 100 that need this service. Now the bank is in a different position.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're under no pressure. There's no motivation to help
Right.
one person in trouble with a short sale. And I don't think they're going to go for that. So let's talk about what would happen if they can't get the short sale. So what are some of the other things? Is one of them having to bring money to the table?
It is. It is.
Mm.
So if they go straight to the marketplace and they put the home on the market, they bought it at 400.
Hmm.
The property's only worth 350. In order to clear up any deficiencies, they would have to bring that $50,000 to the table.
Okay. So now we can't get a short sale. It's going to take too long for the modification, and I don't have the $50,000. All right. I also don't have the job I had to make the mortgage payments. So and I'm
Oh, we're
three
about to.
and I'm 3 months behind.
Okay, I see what you're doing. I see where you're going.
Okay. All right. So
Okay,
all right.
I'm gonna
So
get that mortgage subject too now, huh?
yeah, exactly. So now I'm talking to real estate investors. You're talking to homeowners. I'm not.
Okay, okay.
I'm talking to real estate investors. Look at the top of the room. Real estate
Yes,
investors.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to guide the ship here, Karan.
Got you. I'm on board. I'm on
You're on
board.
board
I'll
now?
empower you to steer. Yes, please.
All right, folks. So that's what we're talking about. So now here comes a real estate investor with this situation that says, you know what? I can stop the foreclosure. I can help you out of your situation. You don't have to, and we can close in less than a month. We can close in like 20 days. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, how would you like to be able to get out of this without a foreclosure on your record? And what if I could give you some money so that you can move, and I'll catch up your mortgage so that it is, your mortgage is now up to date. All right. I'm going to catch it up and give you some money so that you can move into your next place. If that person was under pressure, 3 months behind, looking at foreclosure, and then give a little bit of cash in their hand and moving money, what do you think we will be able to do for that seller now, for that homeowner?
Well, you just gave him peace of mind, and the investor just got a piece of property to add it to his portfolio without even going to apply for a mortgage for himself or the entity he bought the property in.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Or she bought it in.
All right, now here's the last piece of the puzzle. Here's the last piece of the puzzle, Corral. I've heard real estate investors talk about the fact that they've got a sub two deal. They saved the property. They helped out this homeowner. All right, and now they've taken it over. But just a few short months ago, the interest rate was like 3%, 3.5%, 4%. Now with these deals, and they were happy to get. So they said, I just got a deal. I took over a mortgage that was 2.9 or 3.125. All right. So I took that mortgage over, and we're cash flowing. Okay. So now the interest rates are like at 6 and 7%. Can we make a deal work where we're taking over a mortgage at 6 and 7% interest? Are they just as attractive as those that were at 2, 3, and 4%?
Oh, even more attractive when you know the P.I.L.L method.
There we go.
Even more attractive.
She is totally on board now. Totally on board. Folks, listen, we're going to get into why that's even more attractive, but please share the room some more, so get some more people in here so that they can see this title, How Real Estate Investors Can Make More Money on Their Sub-2 Deals, even at these higher interest rates. We have 2 shares. We got 9 people in. Can we get some more people in by sharing the room a little bit more? So do me a favor, folks, share the room. Let's get it out there. And I'm going to show you some numbers. If you want to see these numbers, how we can make money on these deals at 6 and 7%, it's going to be amazing. So we're still at 2 shares. What's going on? Can I get some folks to share? All right, let me share it again then. All right, because this is very, very, very important, so people can come in and understand what's happening. And if you have anything that you want to contribute to the conversation, please come to the stage. All right, folks, listen, let's go ahead and share the room out just a little bit more. And I'm getting ready to put something on the screen so that you can see how you can make money on these deals even at 6 and 7%. And we're going to show where real estate investors are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. But first, you're in the P.I.L.L Method Club. If you're not a member of the club, go ahead and click that green match at the top. And once you click that green match at the top, join the club and hit that notification bell always on so that when we're open, you know it. You're going to get a notification not only when we open the room, but also when we are posting a new room that's coming up in the future. You're going to get notified of that as well. And then go ahead and follow me, follow your moderators, and don't forget that, because when we're speaking, you want to know what is happening All right, so we got a few more people in. So if you want to see these numbers, you want to go to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Search Pill Method on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Search Pill Method and find the live our live broadcast so that you can actually see these numbers. It is going to be good stuff today. All right. So we're going to let me see. I need to share my screen. There we go. All right, folks. So here's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to put up an amortization schedule, and we're going to show. And here's the scenario. Here's the scenario that this person bought. They have a 300 and they've got a $350,000 mortgage. All right, it's at 7%, and the payment is 28.56, and they are distressed. They need help, and you come in as a real estate investor and says, you know what? Here's what we could do. What do you need? And they said, well, listen, I don't want to go into foreclosure. I'm already 3 months behind, and I don't have time to wait. And also, I owe more. I owe more on the property than the property is worth. So I can't sell it without bringing money to the table. And the bank is not talking to me about a short sale. The bank's not talking to me about that. So what else can I do? I said, if I can, let's say I could bring you current, all right? Bring the mortgage current and give you money to move. Would you be willing to deed the property over to me, and I will make your mortgage payments, and I'll give you money to move and bring your property current? But if for any reason, here's what the paperwork is going to say, but for any reason I stop making the payments, you can take the property back. All right. And it's going to be in the paperwork. All right. So now we are, I love that book, Ahmed. I love that book, Building a Story Brand. All right. When you take a look at my website at thepillmethod.com, you will see that our website is very clean and only has one instruction on it. All right. So, folks, if you want to raise your hand and come up to the stage, let's do that if you have a comment. So thank you for being here. So if you want to see what we have on here, follow those instructions. Go to one of the four platforms, social media platforms, and search Pill Method, and you'll be able to see this. So here's the situation. We got $350,000 at 7%. I want to show you something that real estate investors are leaving money on the table. When you have a mortgage, and I need you all to write this down. When you have a mortgage, you are you're purchasing equity with the bank's money. You're building equity, but you're paying interest every month. Now, if you have this property subject to, and you're renting it for more than the mortgage payment, then you keep the difference. That's your cash flow. Once you figure all of that out, then do not forget this part. You got the cash flow and the property is yours. You've got it rented out. And then every good real estate investor is looking at the fact that the tenant is now helping them to build equity, even if it's underwater. There's money that's going to principal. They were paying down the mortgage at the same time we're making money. And most real estate investors just look at that. Okay. And so once they do that, we've got some newer people in the room, go to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter on a secondary device, search for Pill Method, and you'll be able to see these the numbers that we're showing on the screen. So now, here's the thing. Even though the tenant is making the payments, look at this. We're building equity at $280 a month. So it starts out at 286, then it goes to 288.57, then it goes to 290. That's the money that's going to build your equity. I also need you to pay attention to how much equity costs when you get a loan. And in this case, folks, the interest payments on this loan, $2,041. That's where it starts out. $2,041 in interest to get $286.89 worth of equity. If you believe that $2,041 is too much money to pay for $286 in equity, put a number one in the chat. Please put a number one in the chat right now if you believe paying $2,000 is too much money to pay for $286 in equity, even though you have a renter paying the deal. All right. Anybody think that's way too much money? Okay. We have Miss Shonda Boyles online who's watching us on YouTube. She says that's definitely too much money. She put a number one in the chat. Okay. So I need you to watch this very closely, because even though we're making money on the deal, on this sub-2 deal, when you receive that rent check, all right, let's just say that we have our payment is $23.28, all right, and let's just say we can rent this house out for $3,000, okay, $3,100. Let's just say we're renting it out for $3,100, folks. We are definitely making about $700 a month on the deal. All right. And the renter is making the payments, and we're making over $700 a month. But when you receive that check for $3,100, how much of that money is yours? How much of that money is yours? Anybody? How much of that money is yours when you receive that $3,100 at the time you receive it? Anybody? Anybody want to put that in the chat? All right. If you don't know, I'll tell you. Every single dime of that money is yours. Why? Because they gave it to you. My next question is, how much of that money do you want to keep? Ooh, as much as you possibly can. Now, watch this. Watch this closely. Watch this closely. If you have this mortgage, look at the principal payments here. They're in the 200s. By the end of the year, it goes to 300. Now, I need you to focus on how much interest is being paid while you are cash flowing $700 a month on this deal. And you walked in, save a person from being foreclosed on. I need you to take a look at 1 year into this mortgage. 1 year. Look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Look at that. When you take a look at that, you're gaining this much equity, $3,555 in equity in 1 year. But it cost $24,387 in interest to get that much equity. Even though the renter is paying that money. Listen, I don't care who gives me money. I don't care. If somebody is giving me money and I still have to pay out $24,000 of that money, that's going to bother me. I'm still making money. I'm still at the end of the day, folks, at the end of the day, I've got, let me put my calculator on the screen, and I'm just going to round off our cash flow at $700 times 12 equals $8,400. So I'm getting about $8,400 a year on this property. But to get it, I just paid out money that came through my hands. I just paid out $24,000 of that money that came through my hands so that I can end up with $8,400 in cash. And I had somebody also gain me $3,055 in equity. All right. So I got my $8,400. I got my $3,555 in equity, but I just paid out $24,000. Miss Shonda Boyles, she says, yes, that bothers me too. All right. Any other? Oh, hey, how you doing, Steve Mack? All right. Anybody else got any comments about this? Because I'm getting ready to show you how real estate investors are leaving money on the table. Every real estate investor that I know that's worth their salt has monies set back in reserves. Because if you don't have money set back in reserves, what happens when something breaks down? Okay. What happens if the property is vacant for 2 or 3 months? Who's going to be making those payments? It's going to be you. So you have to be in a position. To make those payments. Isn't that right, Karan? If you're available.
I am, and that is 100% correct, Tom.
Okay. So you need to have some money set aside so that if you ever need to fix something, or if your property goes vacant, you need to have some cash stashed back. Now, here's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to people who have plenty of money that is stashed back in reserves. And let's say your goal is to have 6 months in reserves. Okay? What happens once you reach your goal of having 6 months in reserve? Do you keep adding to it? Because here's what should be done. Out of your rents that you're bringing in, what you want to do is make sure that a certain percentage of that rent money, as a policy, goes into the reserve fund. Don't just put money in the reserve when you feel like it. Figure out how much of your rent money is going to go into reserves every single month. And you do that religiously without fail. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so
It does. John, I just had one question.
Go right
Did you
ahead.
just say to put it into a policy, like an
No,
insurance policy?
no, no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I'm saying put it in, you want to put it into the bank.
Okay.
Okay. Because you want to be able to get that, you want to be able to access that cash when you need it. Okay. So now, all right. So now we're going to put that money away, and we're going to religiously put a certain amount of that money into reserves. That's going to make sure that money is there in case we need it. Okay. Now, what also, do you know, I know real estate investors that have more than one property. They got more than one property. And guess what? Because they're in business, Karan, they also have lines of credit.
Yes.
They have a line of credit available. Now, you don't need a line of credit to make this work. You can do this off your reserves. Let's just say you have plenty of money in reserves, plus you have more than what your floor is. Your floor is having 6 months, but you have more money than that. Okay, you got more
And
money.
is the mortgage paid off already?
Oh, no, 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 no. You're
No.
paying
Okay.
the
Okay.
mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, you're paying that mortgage. This is a sub
So
2
did
deal.
I activate the pill method yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. All right. So now we got money, and we've got all of this going on. We've got money, and we've got we may even have a line of credit. So what if we did this and started looking at how we can gain equity faster and cheaper? Faster and cheaper. Because right now, the cost of $3,555 in equity is $24,387.36 that went through our hands, even though we have made $8,400 in that year from the rents coming in. Okay? So now What if I have some money in cash? And what if I could borrow from myself out of my reserve fund? But I can borrow enough money out of my reserve fund, but it will not take me down below my threshold. What if I could borrow $3,555.36 and apply that money to principal in the first month? It would be tremendous. Let me show you what would happen if I just applied not the whole $3,500, but just $288. What if I just borrowed $288 from myself and applied it to principal? We're going to make the one payment here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic there, Karan. All right, but jump back in when you need to. So we made the first payment, and then we take a look at the principal payment for line 2, which is $288.57. What if I just borrowed out of my reserves $288.57 in the same month I made that first payment? Could I also give the bank that $288.57 early? If I did, guess what? I'm paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule in 1 month. And what happens to this $2,039.99 in interest? I never have to pay that. I just saved $2,000 in interest I never have to pay. And I got an additional $288.57 in equity. And my next mortgage payment for the next month is actually on line 3 of this schedule. So I just got rid of one line off of this schedule for just $288.57 that I borrowed from myself. Okay. And I saved $2,000 in interest in the process. Miss Shonda, how does that sound to you? Anybody else on the stage? Does that sound like a powerful position to be in? All right. To come up with $288, but it's going to save me $2,000. So the $288.57 that I signed up for, and I would normally pay $2,000 in interest. Did I just get my $288 in equity for free? I did not have to pay $2,000 for it, even though this property is cash flowing. Oh my goodness, Miss Karan, what do you say to that so far? How's that sound so far?
I said it's like a magic. I always think that you're doing magic because you allow the interest to just disappear. The whole line on the amortization schedule is gone.
Yes.
Just like a magic act.
Wow. Okay, so folks, if we can do that with 1 month, what if, and I need to show you, I need to tell you, I need to stop right here, folks. What we're doing, it sounds simple. It's not simple. It is simplified. We're taking a very complex deal here and making sure we're on the right side of every part of this. So we have simplified a very complex situation. There's more behind the scenes than meets the eye. So please don't go from this room and thinking that you have everything you need to make this happen. I guarantee you, you know just enough to get you in trouble. So now Shonda is saying she's watching us on YouTube, and she's saying, think about a whole year. Wow. Okay, Shonda, let's do that. Okay, let's borrow from ourselves $3,555.36. Let's apply it to principal. Ms. Shonda, are we paid down to line 12 in just 1 month? Huh? Are we paid down to line 12 in just 1 month? We've knocked off a whole year's worth of payments. What happened to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12 when we borrow $3,500 from our reserve fund? Even more, even better, what if we borrowed that from our line of credit? It's even more powerful if you do that. Oh my goodness. There is so much going on here that we can appreciate. Now, I got my equity. I got my 35, I got my 35, 55, 36 in equity. I got that. All right. I got it in 1 month. At the end of the year, I'm still going to get my $8,400 in rental income. I'm still going to be cash flowing that. I still get that. You know what I don't have in this deal? To get the same equity, I don't have to pay the bank $24,000 out of my money to get that. I just paid to get the same equity. I just paid the interest on line one of $2,041.67. That's all I paid to get the same equity instead of $24,387.36. Folks, that is a savings. I just saved myself $22,364.65 in interest. I don't have to pay. What do you think about that, everybody?
Donald, I'm always amazed at it, but I have a question for you.
Okay, what was that you said, Karan?
I think it's I said I always think it's amazing, but I
Yes.
do have a question for
Yes.
you.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I've heard you with this scenario before,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just changing the terms of that mortgage. If it's an interest only mortgage that an investor has, um, I'm just wondering your approach to that
All right. First,
because there's no, it's all interest payments. So
right.
how are we going to attack that principle?
Help me to understand what you understand about an interest only loan. Tell me what you think. How does it
Okay,
actually work?
so my understanding is that if I'm borrowing, and let's call it a round number, let's say it's $100,000 or $500,000, interest only after the terms, if it's for 5 years, you still owe the same 500,000 unless you've been intentionally putting some monies towards the principal.
Okay, so you can put money towards principal.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so some people who get these interest only loans, even seasoned investors, and if it's an interest only period for 5 years, some of them use up the whole 5 years. An interest only loan will help you to increase your cash flow. All right. In this case, the interest only payment on this loan is $2,041.67 a month. And that doesn't change because we're not putting a dime towards principal. So that it gives us an additional $286.89 worth of cash flow that we don't have to give to the bank. Okay. Because nothing's going to principal. So what if we did that for 5 years? Okay. What if we did that for 5 years? So that's 60 months. That's 60 months. So we're going to bring our calculator up. And we got $2,041.67. That's our mortgage payment because it's an interest only loan times 60. All right? 60 months. That's 5 years. That's $122,500. Now, what makes that palatable is if we were cash flowing and made a lot more money than that. Okay? Then just subtract the $122,000 that you paid from the money that you received on this loan, and then you keep the difference. All right. Is that how you understand having that interest only period for 5 years, Karan?
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, I need you all to write this down if you're taking notes. Control the principal payments and you control the loan. Control the principal payments and you control the loan. Watch this. Right now, I have tiny principal payments if this is a regular P.I.L.L mortgage, principal and interest mortgage. I'm paying both principal and interest, but I have small principal payments, which helps me to take advantage at these higher interest rates of this loan. I can make more money on the back end by creating equity faster and cheaper. All right. But if I have an interest only loan, where I'm paying $2,041.67 a month, Quran, what if I decided to take some money out of reserve and apply it to principal? Now, if I have this loan where I'm paying $286 in principal each month, am I in complete control of the principal payment, or is the bank telling me how much principal to pay? Quran.
Well, you're in complete control of that principal payment because the bank is only expecting their interest.
Right. But if it's a principal and interest payment, I am not in complete control, am I?
No.
But if I have a interest only payment, I'm in, like you said, I'm in complete control of principal payment.
Correct.
So folks, listen to this. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. Here's the second thing you need to understand. Interest payments I skip don't matter. Oops. Interest payments I skip don't matter. So if you have a loan, and I'm gonna let me do this. I'm gonna duplicate this tab. All right. Now my interest payment now is $2,041, and I have interest only loan. What if we took the same scenario, Karan? Oh, come on, folks! Start inviting some folks in here because you want to hear this, and other people want to hear this. And I did the same deal. I took $3,555.36. I borrowed it from myself, all right, and advanced it to this loan, all right. I would be paid down to $346,444.64 on the principal balance. Okay. Now, folks, your interest only payment is based on the fact that you owe $350,000. This payment here, this $2,041.67 is based on owing $350,000. But what if, Karan, what if I owe less than $350,000? What will that do to my interest only payment?
If you owe less than the 300,000, it's going to be less interest that you're paying.
What?
Because you're paying it on less money.
Are you telling me not only am I'm in complete control of when I pay principal, I'm in complete control of my monthly payment now. I can bring it down whenever I want. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to take this $346,444.64 because I'm going to prepay the $35.55.36. I'm going to save about $24,000 in interest out of all of that money that I said I was going to be able to pay over the next 5 years. I'm going to pay, if I keep that interest only for 5 years, I'm going to pay out $122,500. By advancing $3,500 of that money to the loan that I would have paid out, I just reduced the amount of interest, all right, by $24,000. So now the amount of money that I'm going to pay out in interest is under $100,000 just by that one move. I could take $3,500 out of my savings account, advance it to this loan, and kill over $24,000 in interest I don't have to pay. And watch this. I'm going to take this $346,000. We're going to copy that. We're going to put it into this loan. All right. This is how much we owe now. Okay. All right. We want to try to get it to paste. All right. There we go. Paste. All right. We got to take that comma out. It's still at 7%, right? All right. And We still have 300. We're going to keep it at that same amortization. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Here's my new payment. $2,304.90. My old payment was $23.28. My new payment is now $23.04. So I can actually control what my payment is. Actually, I need to reduce this by 12 months. So I need to take this down to $348. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm probably somebody is actually yelling at their screen. Take off 12 months because you just took off 12 months. So let's do this again. I'm sorry. All right, let's do this again. Here's my new payment. $2,328.56. All right. Oh, actually, that becomes the same if I do that. Oh, I'm not supposed to take off the 12 months. All right. I'm not supposed to take that off. I'm supposed to keep it at 360. That's right. All right. I'm learning. I'm learning with you all too. So I actually have my payment is 2304.90. 2304.90. So if I continue to put money on principal, Karan, I'm going to be able to save a ton of interest and control what my payment is going to be. My payment is going to be less and less and less because I'm applying money to principal and I'm saving a ton of interest every time I put money towards that principal. How does that sound to you?
Don, absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing. Love it.
So folks, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. If you have an interest only payment, make the best of it. Know when to put money on principal and then when not to. Now, when we use our cash reserves, to put money on principal, then we need to take a look at how to build the reserves back up, okay, to where they were. So if we take money out, then what happens is we don't continually take money out of that reserves. We take the money out, we get the benefit, and then we just make our minimum payments until we build up our reserves to where they were before. Then once we build it up, we can then make another payment, taking money from our reserves and applying it to principal. Build it up and do it again. Build it up and do it again. We can save thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest we don't have to pay. And Karan, it's even more astounding than that.
Don, numbers just got to make sense. And I've got to say, that's what I just love about your program because your numbers are always on point. They always make sense. It helps you to think about what you're doing with what you are doing and how you tackle your mortgage or any debt. But I love it. I love how your numbers make sense.
All right, folks, continue to share the room. If you want to come up to the stage and have something to say and have something to input, fantastic, do that. But listen to this. Listen to this. And then we're going to take a short break here. If you are doing anything that has to do with real estate, I want to make this abundantly clear. If you are paying more interest than you need to, you're leaving millions of dollars on the table. And I am not talking about the extra interest you're paying. What I am talking about is, Karan, if we're giving the bank 75% more interest than we need to give them, when we give them that money, what is the bank going to do with that money?
What does the bank do with the extra money we give them?
Yes, what do they do with it?
Probably the same thing that they do with the money that we deposit in there, which is lend it to other people.
What? They're going to make money with that money?
Yes.
Okay, so If I could save myself $24,000 in interest, that to buy the same thing. All right. I got the same thing I was going to buy, which is $3,500 in, I was, okay, back to the other loan. All right. I was going to buy $3,500 in principal, right? Paid down, but it didn't cost me $24,000 in interest to get it. So what if I could save that $24,000 in interest that I didn't have to pay? Is that money that I could eventually invest myself? Corinne, what do you think?
Of course, yes.
So if I could save $200,000 in interest on this deal, okay? Because here's what the bank wants: $488,000 in interest on this deal altogether. $488,000. So let's just say the bank wants $488,000. I'll put my calculator back on the screen. $488,281.60. There we go. All right. And now, let's say I can cut that by 75%. All right. Let me divide that by 3. Okay. Let's just say I can end up paying not $488,000, but $162,760. All right. $162,760. All right. Let me do this. 488,000 281 minus what did I say? 168,760 minus 168,760. Ooh, that's $319,000 saved. $300,000 saved to acquire the same asset. That's money I didn't have to spend. How much money would that money make me over the next 20 or 30 years I plan to be in the real estate business? Okay? How much money could that make me in real estate, where real estate is appreciating, 20 to 15% year over year?
Millions.
So we're leaving, it's not the extra money, folks. It's not the extra money that's giving us trouble that we're paying. It's the money that money can never make for us. That is the big problem. Folks, I can't make this any clearer than this. The bank is taking that extra money, the extra $319,000 we didn't have to pay them, and they're going to invest that money. What if you can get the same asset, for $319,000 less in interest paid? And now you can now take that money and invest it yourself. Because guaranteed, if you don't pay attention to this, you will pay the $319,000 in interest. You know how I know? Because if you're not paying the bank, they're taking the property back. So you're either paying all of this interest or you're saving the interest. So if you're going to pay it, pay that money to yourself and then invest that money. So the reason why it's so hard for people to see is because, Don, when I save interest, I don't have the cash immediately in my hand to invest. So it's hard for me to visualize it. All right. Well, visualize this when you take a look at this mortgage. Visualize this. Let's help you here. 60 months into this thing, 60 months into this mortgage. Visualize this. This you can see. Paying down just minimum payments, you're going to pay this mortgage down by $20,539.58. It will cost $119,000 in interest, $119,174 to be exact. Can you visualize that? Is that something that we can visualize? It is going to cost you $119,000 in interest to get the loan to this point. From point A to point B. That is from $350,000 you owe down to where you only owe $329,000. Can you visualize the fact that to get it from point A, where you started, to get it to here 5 years later, is going to cost you $119,000 in interest? Can we visualize that, everybody? I need you to put something in the chat. Can you visualize that? All right. Can you understand it's going to cost you that much interest to do that? So try to visualize this. If you were to prepay the $20,500, you would be paid down to here in 1 month, which makes it impossible for the bank to charge you $119,000 in interest. Can you see that? Can we visualize that? Real estate investors. Please wake up. Please wake up. Please wake up. We're paying way more interest than we need to get the same equity, to get the same asset. So if we prepay this money on line 1, we knock off 5 years worth of payments that we never have to make, and we save ourselves $117,249.81 in interest we never have to pay. And if you don't have to pay it, folks, if you don't have to pay it, that means if you are intentional, okay, if you're intentional, then you can invest that money. So let me put it another way. Let me put it another way. Okay. All right. Credit Goddess, I see you in here. Don't be sneaking up on me. Rosalure, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Rosalure, because I'm a little excited today. I'm a little excited today because we're talking about how in a sub-2 deal, we can take some of our reserve money, and even though we're cash flowing, we can get our equity faster and cheaper if we take some of our reserve money and strategically apply it to principal and save that interest. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. And let me ask you something. All right. Is this completely possible? And it might have even happened to you. Going out to dinner at a very nice restaurant, and you had planned to pick up the check, and it is $200. Okay. For the table. All right. Including tip. Okay. $200. And one of your friends walks by and says, Rosalure, I haven't seen you in such a long time. Okay. I mean, a very good friend. And then all of a sudden, your server comes over to you. And you said, may I have the check, please? And the server said, yeah, there is no check. Your friend that came over and said hi to you paid the bill.
Ooh.
Did you just save $200 that you were planning to spend?
Yep.
What should you do with that $200 now? Should you go out and what?
Invest it.
Invest it, not go out and spend it?
No.
Folks,
because that would have been money that I wouldn't say lost, but that would have been money that I spent. But since I got to save it, I might as well just go and invest it to make more.
So did you get the pleasure of other people's company during that time?
Yes.
Did you all enjoy good food?
Yes.
And did you enjoy the atmosphere of the restaurant?
Yep.
You got everything you had planned to do, except you didn't have to pay for it.
Right.
Somebody else paid. And so now I got $200, and now I'm going to go and buy those shoes I wanted. That's how most of us think.
That's how most of us think. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But
Oh, I can go spend it on something else.
what if we invested the money we didn't have to spend? So can I help you here? Can I help you here? Because it's hard for people to see that. It's hard for people to see what I'm talking about when it comes to real estate. That's $200 you didn't have to spend. And now, is that $200 you didn't have to spend, is it actual real money? Is it a real asset to you, Credit Goddess? Rosalie, if you're talking, you're muted. Oh, probably got a call.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Okay, here's what I'm saying. If is that $200 that you would have spent, but you didn't spend it, is that a real asset? Is that a real thing? Is that real cash? Is that a real benefit?
It is a real benefit. Yeah.
Okay. Even though I can't see it because I didn't spend it, it's still in my bank account or it's still on my credit card. That was money that I had received from somewhere else, but I didn't spend it. So, folks,
Right.
rent is the same way. If you receive rents from your tenants to pay a bill, but it turns out you didn't have to pay that interest bill, it works the same way as not having to spend the money at the restaurant. Isn't it the same thing? Come on. Rosalo, do you have time to introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yes. Yes.
Would you please?
Hey everyone. My name is Rosalore Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I am all things credit score improvement strategist, business credit coach, educator, and a NAV business loan broker. I help my clients improve their credit so that way they can always be qualified for funding, which I do assist them with. So that way they can apply, grow, and scale their business, purchase their first home, purchase your first car, whatever it is. I know that we talk about here how to save on interest costs, but I know many of you would rather have a lower interest rate. But either way, understanding the P.I.L.L method helps you understand on how to save on interest costs. So if repairing your credit so that way you can get that better interest rate, definitely tap in with me. And also stay close with Don so that way he can show you how to save on interest costs all together. This is the reason why we partner together, so that way we can put you in the best position to get what you want. So thank you, Don.
You're so welcome. Yolanda, I see you in here. How are you doing this morning? KA, I see you too. All right. Listen, folks, Felicia just came in and Andrea. If you all want to see what we're putting on the screen, please go to YouTube or Facebook, search P.I.L.L Method, and then you can also click the live button and watch us live. Follow us there, subscribe, do what you have to do to follow us to get this good information. Today, we're talking about how real estate investors can make more money on the back end of these deals, even at the higher interest rates, and they're even better positioned to make more money at the higher interest rates than at the lower ones. We're going to do that next in our next hour. But now we're going to take a quick break. I need you to go to at the top of the room. If you're not a member of the P.I.L.L Method Club, go ahead and click that green mansion and join the club today. All right. And follow your moderators so that anytime we're online doing anything, you can know what's up. So we just went over in the first hour. If you came in late, we just went over in the first hour how you can make more money with your sub 2 deals by not paying all of that interest. All right. And then you can catch the replays if you missed anything. If you have a question, raise your hand and come to the stage. Someone else took advantage of the P.I.L.L Method not too long ago, and his name is Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher. And most people do not realize that even though this is us, we have simplified the process, it is far from simple. He thought it was simple until he got introduced to the P.I.L.L Method and paid off his house early and made his wife feel a whole lot better. I need you to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas right now.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
All right, folks, listen. Also, Rosalor and Karan, do you realize that someone, a brand new client of mine, we just came on this week, all right, and saw this video. They saw this video, and the lady that saw this, she was concerned, even though they had a great lifestyle, and they just came back from a fabulous European vacation. She was still concerned about the fact that her husband makes a lot of money and she makes money too in her business. She was still concerned what would happen if the money dried up. So she saw that video and they came into the office, and now they're going to be able to pay off their mortgage, not in 30 years, not in 15 years, not even in 7 years. They're going to be able to pay their mortgage off in 3 years. How does it make her feel to be able to do that? She was on cloud 9. And guess what? They can still go on their fabulous vacations. They can still drive what they want to drive, go where they want to go, do what they want to do. But they're now going to take their funds and significantly reduce the amount of interest that they pay on these loans. So more of the money that would have gone to interest is now paying down the debt. Makes her feel so much better. Credit Goddess, I see you over there with the exclamation points. What's up with you? Why are you doing that?
Oh, I know she was elated. I'm just saying. I mean, a lot of people don't understand the savings, unless you show it to them, but they don't go looking for it. And I get it, because we were taught, hey, go get a house and pay your mortgage on time, and that's it. But what about like paying it off sooner? When I talk to people about paying off their home sooner, it's like they can't fathom the idea. How do you do that? So, I tell them to come into this room so that way they can see it for themselves. Not me just talking about it, but you got to come see it, because you got to see how the numbers work. Like you said, it's not magic, it's math. And
Exactly.
a lot of people are not, privy on the math. But no, I know she was elated.
Yeah, so that's what we do here, folks. If you're in this room and you want to know how this can work for you or for maybe your clients, all right, you want to go to our website, pillmethod.com, or you can click on the button up above our link, my 10K card, and then either way, you will find the button that says get a savings and earnings report. And then follow all the instructions. Fill out the financial data that we're asking for, submit it, and one of my associates will go over that data, give you a call, and confirm all the numbers. And if anything needs to be, fixed, we'll fix it for you. We'll put the numbers in right. And at that point, we can tell you the month, day, and year you're going to be debt free and how much interest you can save. Then you will be invited to, if you want, you can get a consultation with me. All right. The consultations are $150. And I guarantee you're going to get $150 worth out of that consultation, or I'll give you the money back. All right. I don't need the money. And like Jim Rohn says, I don't need the money, but I'll take the money. All right, that's what Jim Rhodes says. But anyway, but if you don't get $150 worth of benefit out of it, I'll give you the money back. It's not a big deal. All right. So get your analysis done. Learn the month, day, and year you could be debt free. If you are a real estate investor, we can also show you this: how to get equity faster and cheaper so you can cash out refi 9 to 12 years sooner. 9 to 12 years sooner, you can cash out refi, take cash out, and then also be in a position to buy more doors with that money. Okay, we'll be able to do that for you as well. So this works for residential, it works for investors. All right, I need you to understand that. So, Ms. Karan, are you still with us? So hopefully she is. She might have walked all the way across the room, and she says, "Don, why are you calling me when I walk way across the room?" Ms. Karan, are you still there? All right, maybe she's on the phone. Anyway, folks, if you have any questions about anything you've heard so far, if you've got any input into this subject matter, please raise your hand, come to the stage, because now I'm getting ready to show you. We did part 1. Part 2 is on how these higher interest rates, because once we get these sub 2 deals now, what is happening now is that the sub 2 deals are at higher interest rates, 5, 6, 7%. And they have to make sense financially or we can't get into the deal. But I'm going to show you how you can make even more money at the higher interest rates than at the lower ones. Are you ready? All right. So if you want to see this, go to YouTube or Facebook, search P.I.L.L method on your secondary device, on your tablet or your laptop or your other phone, and then on YouTube or Facebook, and you'll see our live presentation. Click on it, all right, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, folks, here we go. We're bringing that back up. So we have a $350,000 mortgage at 7%. $350,000 mortgage at 7%, and we're in a sub 2 deal where we're going to take over the mortgage. We get the property. We help the person who was distressed. We made the deal. We might have given them some money so that they can move also. And we brought their mortgage current. They were 3 months behind, getting ready to go into 4 months behind. And they found us and we were able to help them. So we've got what's called subject to the existing mortgage. So we're paying the mortgage now, but we own the property. We're paying their mortgage. We didn't take out a new mortgage. We're paying their mortgage. And but we get the house, so we're putting a renter in, and we're going to help them with moving expenses as well. How about that? Okay, so they don't get a bankruptcy. They don't get a foreclosure on their record, and they can walk away from the house with a little cash in hand because maybe they got laid off from their job. Now, here's what we're looking for. Here's what we're looking to do. I showed how at 7%, do you see these principal payments? They're $286 starting out, then $288, then $290. This is where they are at 7%. Now, a few months ago, somebody who picked up this sub 2 deal would have loved to get this at a lower interest rate, because there was a time before when these interest rates were a lot lower. Okay, $350,000. Okay, $350,000. We're going to go over here, $350,000. Now, this is what it looked like a few months ago. Instead of 7%, it was 3%. Okay, it was 3%. The payment was $1,475.61. What is happening now? The rents are higher, so we can still make money. Okay, we can still make money because since the pandemic, the rents have gone through the roof, as well as the mortgage payments, as well as the interest rates. So the rents are going to offset the bigger mortgage payments that we have to pay. All right, number one. So we're looking at $1,475 here as opposed to 23.28. So remember, you don't want to get into this deal unless you're cash flowing and making money. All right. So if you're cash flowing and making money, then it's going to be good. But let's compare the two loans. Remember, your principal payment on the higher interest rate was $286 a month, $288 a month. And 1 year of all these principal payments added up was $3,055.36. If we prepaid that money, if we prepaid it, we could knock off a whole year, right? Now we're at 3%, and everybody thinks that we're better off at the 3%, but now I need you to take a look at the same loan at 3%. Now look at the principal payments. What? $600? To get rid of 1 month's worth of interest, to get rid of one line of the amortization schedule, I now have to come up with $600 at the lower interest rate. What? Look at this, folks. $288, $288, $290, as opposed to $602, $603. Now my $3,500 barely takes off 6 months instead of 1 year. Can you see now that the higher interest rates, you may be uniquely positioned to take your reserve money and get a lot more equity a lot cheaper? Oh my goodness. This is phenomenal to look at it this way. Folks, if you want to see these numbers, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, and take a look. Anybody got any questions about this? Listen, put something in the chat. Go ahead and continue to share the room. We only have 6 shares. We're in our last, we've got about 35 minutes left in this room. And if don't run out of time in asking a question or making a comment. Maybe you have a question about something totally different from this. Raise your hand and come to the stage. All right. So I'm talking to the folks. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching us, we got some people that are watching us on a live. And the folks that I'm talking to come to the stage are on Clubhouse. All right. And so and when people are talking, those are the folks that you're hearing that you cannot see. All right. So, folks, listen, this has been a great show. All right. A great show. And I've hoped that you've learned something. If you've gotten anything out of this, what you've heard so far, go ahead and put a number 9 in the chat. Put a number 9 in the chat or online, because I have just one other example to show you. I just got one other example to show you, and then we're going to be done for the day. But put a number 9 in the chat if you have gotten something out of this, if this has been good for you today. Thank you very much. KA says she's put a number 9 in. So she's getting more out of it. And I want to show you, folks, what we've done for other real estate investors when it came to helping them to save money on their deals. All right. I'm going to show you one, and I'm going to show you a big one. All right. Well, I'm going to show you something that most people never get to see or even imagine. I need you to be able to see what would happen if your interest rates go to double digits. We talked about 7%. We talked about 3%. But the experts are saying if the Fed keeps doing what they're doing, we will soon get to we'll soon get to double digit interest rates. And I want to show you what could happen in a sub 2 deal, even at 18%. Oh, if you want to see this, if you want to see what could happen at a deal with 18% interest, put a number 7 in the chat. Put a number 7 in the chat if you want to see what I could do with, and what you could do with an interest rate of 18%. Because there are people out there that can make a deal work, even at 18%, because that's where they had to get the money. It was at 18%, and they need to understand what that means. And folks, let me give you a quick clue. If you're borrowing money at 18%, do you realize that's only 1.5% a month? 1.5% a month is 18% a year. When we break it down into smaller units and think about cash flow, and we think about how much is actually the interest cost and what we could do about it, then it will make more sense when we talk about it. So I'm going to pull this over here so that you all can see that. I'm going to bring this over bring this over on our screen. I've got an 18% mortgage at on $200,000. This is a multifamily. Okay, this is a multifamily. We picked it up on a deal. Okay, $200,000, but it's at 18%. Now, how much we are cash flowing? We are cash flowing $6,000 a month on this deal. Okay, $6,000 a month we're bringing in. How much are the mortgage payments? At $200,000, even at 18%, we have a payment of $3,014.18. Okay, Jeremiah Sams says, good morning. Good morning, Jeremiah. And he puts the number 7 in the chat and in the comments on YouTube. All right, so now here is what this real estate investor wants to do. Out of their $6,000 that they're bringing in, the payment is $3,014 that has to go out to the bank to pay the mortgage. Here's also what they're doing. $2,000 of that comes in, they want to immediately work on reinvesting. Immediately. And they're taking 16.4% of the money, about $358.82, and putting that money into a reserve fund. So that's the breakdown. $6,000 coming in. The mortgage payment is $3,014.18 a month. And let me make that a little bigger on the screen there, and if you're online, please go to full screen. It'll make it easier for you to see. All right. So I just made it a little bigger. $6,000 coming in, $3,014.18 is the mortgage payment. And we're going to put this under other expenses, because we're going to take $2,000 a month and we're putting that away for investing in other properties. Okay. The $985.82 every month that we're putting away, that goes into our reserve fund for repair and maintenance. All right. So now what we're showing this real estate investor who has plenty of money already reserved, because they've been in real estate a while. Okay. Here's what's happening. Let me break this down for you just a little bit, and we're going to show you what's happening. So we're going to minimize this now. On this loan, on a $200,000 loan, if we're not careful, even though we're cash flowing big time, the bank wants us to ignore the fact that over 30 years, we're going to pay $884,974 in interest on a $200,000 loan, even at 8%. Wow, that's a lot of money. We're going to show this real estate investor how they can pay only $172,021. That is a $712,953 interest savings. We can help them to save that much money. $712,953. Okay? That's an interest savings of over 81%. All right? 81% interest savings. Now, I need you to understand what we mean by effective interest rate. You want to write that down. Effective interest rate. So on an 18% mortgage, we're not refinancing it at all. We're just showing this real estate investor how they can use their reserve fund strategically. We're not going to exhaust it, but we're going to use it strategically, and then save $712,000. That means they're only going to pay $172,000 in interest. If they had this mortgage and they were going to pay $172,000 in interest, do you realize that their interest rate would have to be 4.67%? We can show you how to take an 18% mortgage without refinancing it and make it perform like a mortgage at 4.67% by using our system. And they'll be able, if they wanted to, they could pay this mortgage off in 7.8 years. Now remember, the majority of that money is of their $6,000 is going out to pay the mortgage and put money away for real estate investing. They're not taking any of that money. Okay, that's over $5,000. Okay, out of their $6,000 that they're bringing in every month to pay the mortgage and put money away for reinvesting. So over $5,000 of their $6,000 that they're bringing in is spoken for. Only $985.82 goes into the reserve fund. We can use that money, the reserve money, strategically use that money to kill interest. And I'm talking about killing a lot of it, $712,000. If you would like for me, would you like for me to put that mortgage on the screen so you can see what it looks like? A $200,000 mortgage, double digits at 18%. If you would like to see that, put a number 9 in the chat. Listen, I'm not going to, if you don't want to see it, that's okay. That's okay. But if you want to see how an 18% mortgage performs so that we don't have to look at the interest rate and get scared. Okay. Here they come. Courtney is here. Courtney, it's good to see you again. All right. And Derek says 9, puts a number 9 in the chat. So we're going to go back. All right. We're going to move this back out of the way. Boom. All right. And we're going to go in and put a $200,000 mortgage in. Okay. At 18%. 200,000. 18%, 360 months. If you want to see this, folks, go to YouTube or Facebook and search P.I.L.L method on a secondary device, on your tablet or your computer, and watch this as you listen in on Clubhouse. Now, we're going to take this out and we're going to see what the payment is. Just like I told you. All right. Okay. That's sorry. I need to put $200,000 in. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. And then we are going to recalculate that. There's our payment. $3,014.17, just like I said. All right. Here is the breakdown on this. I need you all to take a look at how these payments break down. Before, this would have distressed everybody in the room, everybody on online that's watching this, everybody in Clubhouse that's watching this, everybody. I need you, if you can't see it, I'm going to tell you. Only $14.17 is going to principal out of that payment, while $3,000 goes to interest. Okay? Remember, our payment is $3,014.17. And out of that payment, only $14.17 goes to principal, $3,000 goes to interest. From what you learned today, is there anyone who wants to say, if this can we make this into a good deal? Having an 18% interest rate, can we get an additional benefit out of these tiny principal payments? Remember, I said, when you control the principal payment, you control the loan. All right? Control the principal payment and you control the loan. All right? And Derek says, without a doubt. All right. Anybody has learned anything from our rooms? Do you have anything to say about these tiny principal payments? Can we make this work in our favor? How do we make it work in our favor? So I need you to listen in closely. Listen to this closely. Watch this. If I make this mortgage payment, and I can make it, why? Because I'm getting $6,000 worth of rents in to make the payment. Okay? I made payment number 1. And I'm looking at the principal payment on line 2. Miss Courtney, are you able to come to the stage? If you are, please raise your hand. I'd love to have you up here. All right, good. Thank you. There she is. How are you doing, Courtney?
Wonderful, thank you.
All right. So, are you? Did you hear that we have a $200,000 mortgage that's multifamily, but is at 18%?
Yes, sir, I did. And when you said that the only $14 went to principal, I just about passed out.
Okay. Now, here's what I'm looking at. When I'm looking at the screen here, we made our very first payment. The principal payment on line 2 is not $14.17. It's actually $14.38. That's the principal payment next month, $14.38. So based on what we've learned in here, if I make that payment on line 1, I can prepay $14.38 in the same month and eliminate one line from my amortization schedule and kill almost $3,000 worth of interest, $2,999.79, almost $3,000 in interest I never have to pay. And all I did was prepay $14.38. Folks, when the interest rates go to double digits, don't be afraid of it. Make sure it's making money. And then at these higher interest rates, you can do great damage to these loans and save yourself a bunch of money. So, Courtney, if I add up all the all the principal payments for 1 year on this loan, do you know what it comes to? $184.
Oh my gosh.
$184 in total principal for the year goes to the principal on this loan, and it costs almost $36,000 in interest to get it there. What if I prepaid the $184.79? I don't have to pay the $184.79 over 12 monthly installments. I can pay it all at one time if I wanted to. And it knocks out 1 year's worth of payments and saves me a total of $32,987.77 with just $184 prepaid. Folks, in year 2, it's only $405. What if I did that? Prepaid the $405. In year 3, it's only $669. What if I prepaid $669 to this mortgage and knocked off 3 years worth of payments and saved over $100,000 in interest I never have to pay with just a prepayment of $646.03. $669 prepaid. Listen, saving over $100,000 in interest. You do not have to be afraid of these higher interest rates if it's cash flowing. Courtney, what do you think about that?
I think that's amazing. I wish I had known about your method years ago. I probably wouldn't have been as nervous to invest in properties. So I really appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, folks. Listen, I need you to, do I have any comments in the chat about this? All right. All right. Well, Lena Baker says absolutely. All right. Anything online? Anybody else want to come to the stage and ask any questions before we shut it down? I hope you've got a lot out of this. If you're a real estate investor, if you're taking over a sub 2 deal, even at these higher interest rates, don't be afraid of it. You can make money on the back end. You can get your equity cheaper and you can get it faster by learning how to manipulate and leverage your cash that you have available, either on using a line of credit or your cash in reserves. All right, that's what we're talking about today. All right, I've got my engineer here. I'm hoping that he's not all tied up. If he can come online with us, and I want you to know that this week, folks, is our anniversary week. And because this is our anniversary week, on Monday was the 21st. We've been going live for 1 year. All right, several times a week. All right, we started out at 4 times a week. Now we're at 3. And we've been doing this now for over 1 year. Okay, this, let me see here. I think this is episode 164, but I'm going to go in and take a look and make sure. Episode 164 of how to pay off mortgages in 7 years and what that means to everybody. All right. And let's see here. Yeah, this is episode 164. We're live right now doing episode 164, how real estate investors can make more money on their sub 2 deals. 1 year. And to celebrate that, we're going to continue what we did on Sunday because some people took advantage of that. Do you see my 10K card at the top of the room? If you don't have a 10K card and you would like to have this fabulous digital business card, and I'll pay for it. It's not free to you. It's complimentary. Okay. And if you want one, all you have to do is order my book. If you order my book today, the hard copy, the paperback, if you order the paperback today, I will get you a 10K card and I'll pay for it. And it's $100 value. $100 value. And once you get the book and you enjoy the book, go ahead and please do a review for the book for us on Amazon. Please do. And once you do the review, then you may want to get some books because it's the holiday. You may want to get some books as presents for family and friends. Those people who are looking for a better way to eliminate debt, this will be good for them. So again, let's go over that. If you want to get this book, great, get the book. But if you want a digital business card to go along with it, get the book and then screenshot your receipt and then upload it to my IG, my Instagram. And you'll just click on my link here, my bio, go to my Instagram and put your information and upload it as your receipt to my Instagram. Take a screenshot and then upload it to my Instagram. And I will make sure you get your 10K card. All right. Now, if you're online and you're watching this, but you don't have a profile in Clubhouse, I need you also to give me some additional information. We're going to need a phone number and maybe some links to your social media. All right. So that we can add information to your card for you. Okay. Because if you're on Clubhouse, we're taking information from your bio and putting that on your card. We're also going to give you a link where you can change things on your card, your picture, add more buttons to the card. You can find out how all of this works on the back side. So we're going to give you a link so you can make changes in the card at any time. So again, if you want the book, great, get the book. And then go ahead and then we'll give you a 10K card. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Courtney, how would you like to introduce yourself to everybody as we get ready to get out of here?
Sure, that would be great. My name's Courtney Mendoza, originally from Alabama. Now I'm out in Texas, and I am an online broker for a metal building fabrication company. So a lot of people hear that and they're like, what in the world? So I've been in real estate off and on for many years in the construction side. And when COVID hit, it affected a lot of us. And I was actually given an opportunity to work on the metal building side of construction. But instead of being out in the field, I work in the office. I help customers design their buildings, send the designs over to our manufacturer. They fabricate it, deliver it, erect it. So you can essentially have a building within about 3 to 4 weeks from start to finish. So that's what I do. And I really enjoy it. It's a great benefit for people who need, garages, shops, warehouses, even, and they don't have either the means or the time to wait for traditional construction. So that's what I do. And if anyone would like to check it out, please visit my bio. I have a link to my IG account. Thank you for letting me share.
So if they want to get in touch with you, they'll go to your IG and then they can contact you that way?
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent, excellent, folks. Listen, we've got Kirk Nugent, who is my engineer in the background here, and listen, folks. If you want to see something special, you want to go on YouTube right now and look at this man. Listen, he's got his second camera up, and his studio looks like a spaceship. Come on, Kurt, let's see that one more time. Would you put that second camera on? Look at his, look at his setup, man. Look at his setup. All right, Kurt, I need a stand for my stuff.
We listen. We're going higher, man. We're going higher in 2023. We're gonna redo some things in the studio for you, Don. So
yeah. I need my Roadcaster on a stand like that. That works. How does that work?
This is a Huanuo monitor mount and laptop stand that I have just kind of reconfigured to use it with the Roadcaster Pro. But what I'll say is this, Don, listen, I mean, you just come check me out on Amazon Live around 12:30 today. I'm going to be talking about all this stuff. I'm going to be talking about all this stuff. I'm going to be talking about all of this stuff. I mean, I'm going to shift to this other camera real quick, Don. This is just for the 5 of you guys that are watching live with us right now. The rest of them can't see this, but all of that content, all of those boxes you see in that picture right there, that's all stuff that came in. The Black Friday is coming up, man. I'm going to be live this whole week. So this is a very busy week for me, Don. You already know that. So wow, I'm excited about it, man. So Don, come through. This monitor mount and stand was on a lightning deal yesterday. So for like $40. It's usually retails for like $120. So there's some really great deals out there to be had, man. I mean, this holds a 27-inch monitor. I've got a 27-inch monitor here. Then of course the Roadcaster Pro. You can hold both of them, or you can put your laptop on. I've got another one just like it on the other side, just because I needed to have two. Don, I had to have two.
Oh my goodness! So
two of them, man.
So Kurt, you're doing this. You're helping us out here. But you have your own show. You're helping other people do live shows as well.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Yep.
All right. And because of what you're doing, all those boxes we saw in the background.
That's correct.
Okay. How much did that cost? How much did that cost you?
Well, it was a grand total of about $0, Don. What? Grand total of about $0. Yeah, man. I mean, as you do your thing, people will see you and they're like, hey, I want to get my stuff in on your show. I did one show with my wife last week, Don. Yeah. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. We unboxed a smart vacuum that we got that she wanted for her birthday. Don't crucify me out there. She wanted this for her birthday. You buy a woman a vacuum for their birthday and all the women go wild. Like, how you going to, buy her? She wanted it. That's what she wanted. She said, this is what I want for my birthday. I was like, I can't be telling people I'm buying you a vacuum for your birthday. But anyway, we unboxed that thing live and we got about 20 different emails. Folks was like, how can we get things into your show? And one guy sent me a list of about 30 items. It's like, I'll send you a box of all of them. Just Just send me the address. We want to get our stuff on your show. So I'm just telling you, there's an opportunity of live. You know, what they say is that you collect experiences, things that you have done. You put yourself in a category that is by yourself now, because there is a whole set of people who have never done that thing. So Don's done a year's worth of live shows. How many people can say that?
Yeah.
How many people can say that? And every time he does his live show, he gets a little bit better. He gets more experience. And so he can speak intelligently to other people about doing this whole live thing, whereas others may not. Is that his field of expertise? No. But how many of you drive? Are you a driver for a living? No, you're not a driver for a living, but you like to get to point A to B. What I'm simply saying to you is live video is like having a driver's license. It's going to be the vehicle that will allow you to get your business, your brand, your book, your coaching, your consulting, your service, your product off the ground into the marketplace where everybody exists, and allow you to be plucked from obscurity. When your friends say to you, you're the best kept secret, they're not complimenting you. That's not a compliment. They want you to keep your prices low. They don't want anybody to discover you. I'm telling you, live video is your secret tool, your secret weapon to get out of being unknown, allow people to know you so you can set your prices where your value is. All right, I'm you got me preaching now.
So Kurt, how can people get a hold of you? How can they get in touch with you if they want to start doing something live and set up their studio and get some help? How can they get a hold of you?
Kirk10klive.com. That's my 10K card. He was just advertising that for others. Kirk10klive.com. Hit me up on that card. You got my website. You have my Amazon, my book, all of the things that I do are all on that card, in up to and including being able to set up a 15-minute meeting where we can just chat it up, figure out what your vision is for live. What do you want to use it for? What do you want to? How do you want to leverage it for your brand, for your business, for whatever it is you're doing? And we can figure out if we're a good fit. There's so many free resources that I have available, y'all. This is one of the things I want to share with people. Is it's not just a paid scenario. There's so many resources we have made available because of sponsorships and brands and deals that we've been able to do. So many resources we have available on YouTube and even on my website. So, we can work with you in a myriad of different ways. And I'm just excited about that space that we're in. Listen, I'll just say this and then I'll shut up. My name is Kirk Nugent, and here at Composition, we help small businesses, solopreneurs, and thought leaders solve their two main challenges. Number one, credibility, and number two, discoverability. We do this by providing and maintaining a high functioning web presence, because a website not only makes it real, a website makes you credible. Okay, I'm just going to pause on that. And then we help them by producing scroll-stopping videos and podcasts, tapping into the 24/7 power of social media to have your ideal customer calling you. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention and the opportunity to share, Don. Hit me up, kirk10klive.com.
All right. Before we get out of here, folks, you heard him. Contact him. He's helped us. We are worldwide now with these videos. And what's great about it is that these videos are up forever. And number two, I can get somebody to repurpose these and have content for eons. Content for eons. So Coffee Brown just joined us. Coffee, we're on our way out. What would you like to say to us this morning?
Come on, Coffee.
Just happy Thanksgiving. God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm in the office, super excited and grateful just to be in the building with you guys. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and God bless y'all. Seriously.
All right, folks. This is it. This is it.
Kirk.
Hey, always good to see you. Always good to hear you, Coffee.
You as well, sir.
All right. Thank you, Coffee. Listen, folks, this is our anniversary week. Don't forget to get your book. And then screenshot your receipt to Instagram, DM me, so we can get you out your 10K card today. Thank you so much for being here. Coffee, Courtney, thank you for being here. And everyone in the audience, thank you. We got Lena, we got Steve, we got Jonathan, we got Shonda, we got Charlene, Felicia, Andrea, Donna, Lashana, and Russell. Russell, you've been here the entire time. We thank you so very much, everybody. And go ahead, get the book. It's Thanksgiving. Give it away for gifts. Christmas is coming up. Give it away for gifts. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving already. Kurt, you're in town. You staying in town?
I'm staying in town, man. I'm staying put, man.
Yeah. I'm staying in town too. So we may make the rounds. We may make the rounds. My Patricia and I, my wife, we may make the rounds. And so, man, we might just come by and stop in and see what you're doing.
Listen, come on through. Come on through. Stop by and see what's up.
Okay. All right, folks. Listen, have a great time. We will be here on Sunday. I'm sorry. We'll be here on Friday. We will come in. So you okay with that Friday?
Yeah. Friday's good. Friday's good.
Friday's good.
Once we finish, I'll just go live because
right.
Friday's Black Friday, so I gotta be live all day Friday.
You mean I've got to come up with a Black Friday special now?
You need to come up with a Black Friday special.
Oh,
Don't go
man.
live on Friday and not have a Black Friday special. So.
All right, we got to have a Black Friday special.
Yes, we do.
So,
Yes,
all right,
we do.
so we're going to get and Kurt, listen, you can even have a Black Friday special if you want one.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Bring us a Black Friday special. I'm going to bring us a Black Friday special. I'm going to do something like 2 for 1 or something. I mean, we're going to get it done.
Me too.
Hey,
Yeah, what'd you say?
Okay.
What'd you
Coffee
say?
said me
Coffee?
too.
Me too.
Ooh,
There
Coffee's
you go.
got a Black Friday special.
Come on.
Courtney, if you have a Black Friday special, bring it. Anybody
Listen,
in the
credit goddess,
audience.
come on. Anybody.
Okay,
Black Friday
everybody.
special.
Black Friday special. If you got a Black Friday special, listen, hit me up on my IG and let's talk about it. Let's see if we can get your Black Friday special on this week. So thank you, everybody. We're going to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas one more time as we say goodbye. And I want to thank you again for being here. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you all on Friday.
That's it.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.